Welcome back to Blacksheep Barbell Podcast. Today's episode we have on Jordaine Wisdom. Jordaine is a fitness influencer who's going to talk to us today about what it takes to raise your fitness account. He's seen some pretty substantial growth within a period of months. I believe he has 14,000 followers right now. Mm-hmm. So we're going to speak with Jordaine today, kind of see what it takes to grow your fitness account, kind of the challenges when it comes to growing a social media platform, and dive into his fitness experience. So Jordaine, welcome to the show. So how long of a process has it been for you? Like, when did you have your Instagram for a while, and was it kind of just like a personal thing, and then you started?
Yeah, so I had like my Instagram was like a personal Instagram, you started share stuff with like your friends in like high school, whatever. And then like, I think it was towards like, where was it? Like sometime in college, maybe like third, junior year of college, I started like posting here and there, but like it wasn't like super consistent. And then because like I had like a whole bunch of school, all that, but then like first year out of college, that's when like I put like a genuine effort into it. And I was, what was it? It was like that summer. So summer of 2023, I was posting, but then like I had like a few false starts because I just like couldn't really keep up with it. Editing would take me like 2 hours, and I'm trying to post daily, and then like I'll get into like a rut where I'd be like, holy, like how do people do this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had like a few false starts. I would stop, but then I would like learn some new editing thing that would like kind of like speed up the process here. I'd learn a little technique here, something here. Those kind of like they kind of like snowballed into the point where it's like I got to the point where it's like okay, I can make a video in like maybe like an hour now. And then when I got to that point, I was like for 2023, like December 2023, I put in my journal, like my goals journal, that I want to hit 10K by March. Didn't happen. But the strategy for that was I said like I'm posting at least 5 times per week. Yeah. And so I was doing that, posting the 5 times a week. Still no engagement, like barely anything. Like the max I'd ever seen up to like maybe for like the first 7 months, like I probably saw like maybe like 100 followers like in a month. But then where was it? I was like posting videos, and like you start getting like repetition, start learning more, start learning how to be a little bit more efficient, start learning how to like bring ideas from your head into like a more consumable way that people can like understand and like resonate with. So I was like learning all that, but then like it got to the point where it was like in March, and like this March goal, like I said, okay, I was supposed to be at 10K here, and at that point I'm still at like 1,600 maybe. I was like, this might be like a stretch, Yeah, so that's what I was like thinking at that point. But like when it got to like March, March, April, like when it got to like May, June, and like I knew I was like putting out videos, and like I know that my videos had gotten better, but like I still wasn't like I still like my conversion rate was still like really low. Like a lot of people, like I would get like here and there, maybe like 1 or 2 people from here, you know what I'm saying? But like it just wasn't anything like significant. But then like that was when like I would see like somebody that started like a month ago, 2 months ago, and they would be at like 10K, 20K, 30. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, bro. Like I would literally be in the gym just looking up at the sky like God, like what am I doing? Like I know like I'm putting in the reps, but like what is it that I'm doing? So after feeling like butthurt about that for like maybe like a week or two, like it gave me like it was like the final kick that I needed to be like okay, bro, you're putting out stuff consistently. There must be stuff that you simply just don't know. Like you need to like put time into actually like there must be something about this that you just don't know. So by that point, that's when like I started really like studying it. Like before, I was just like getting myself up to a level of proficiency where I could like post consistently. But then when I got to that point, then it was about like learning the science behind like viewer psychology. I would like literally, I would like audit. I would look at bigger creators' accounts, and I would audit their account. I would literally look like scroll like they might have like 1,000 videos. I would scroll all the way to the very bottom of their page, and I would see like, and I'd literally just like go post by post and see how their page started like picking up. Because if you look at the bottom of their page, like their page is like, they have like maybe like 1,000, 2,000 views, or maybe like some of them even like 500. So like you can see that they started out just like you too.
Yeah.
So that was like very reassuring to see. But then I would literally just like scroll up slightly up from the bottom, and I would see, okay, what made this video like go off rather than this? You know, like I would see them go from, okay, they're getting like, you know, maybe like a few hundred here, maybe a few thousand here, but then this one got like 10,000. So like I would get like an idea of like their baseline in terms of views at that point, and then I would look at the certain video that really took off. And I would start analyzing that. I would start looking at like, okay, why did this actually go off? Like, what's the idea being shared in the video? What's the underlying principle that like they're trying to share? Then I would look at the comments. I would say, okay, what are people even saying about this? Like, what are they talking about? You know, like, is it just like some meme thing, or is it like, are they actually getting like is it like something that they're discussing in the comments? You know?
Yeah.
So I would start getting like ideas from there to see what do people actually care about, what makes people actually interact, what makes people actually talk, and I would literally just like do that. I'd do that for like a whole bunch of creators accounts, and from that too, like you just like learn how to edit better too, because like some people like they have like a different editing styles.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, a lot of people like this is like the really big thing where you don't want to like copy someone, but in the beginning, especially when you're first learning how to edit and you have no prior experience editing, I've found it really useful if you can just like look at someone's video and you can see where they put like all their cuts, because I didn't know like about like cutting to the beat. I didn't know about any of that. You know what I'm saying? So like I didn't know how to like cut to the beat. I didn't know how to get like the dark aesthetic. I didn't know any of that. Yeah. So literally by just like, I would literally like take their video, I would literally get the link, I would download it, and I would literally go frame by frame looking at why did they decide to cut here? Why did they, you know what I'm saying? Like why did they decide to put the text like right here? And I would literally just like analyze all those stuff. And then after you're doing it for a while, you know, you start getting like a sense of, oh, okay, now I can like start to like hear the beat. Now I like, now like after you're doing it for a while, you can just like hear it on your own. And now you can be like, okay, here.
Yeah.
You know
Which is some of the perks of social media now, you know, being able to like see these other content creators and, you know, kind of see their style of video, and then you're like, oh, I really like that. And then you put your own twist to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's a big thing with even how, like when we make videos and stuff, you know, keeping it consistent, you know, you have to start that way. And I liked how you said that you had goals set, even if you didn't reach them, that's like your motivation. And I know when I talked to you the other day, you said you just bought a camera and stuff, so you're still progressing in that sense. And like with editing, like you said, you can like hear the beat, like you know when to edit. It's like, it's weird. You just know when to do it.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. It's all progression though. It is a hard game, like I told you before. I mean, we're still trying to get our stuff out there too, like that. And that's something we're learning along the way.
The biggest thing's like the consistency piece of it. Like that's how like that research phase of it, that was an important phase, because then that set me up for the next piece. And the next phase was when I really started like booming, because that like in that research phase, I was like still, you know, my videos were getting better because I was doing all the research. So I was getting better, but I still hadn't seen more than maybe 100 in like a month at that point. And at that point I was ecstatic, you know, like before that it was like 30, you know. So, but then like the month of August, it was coming towards like the end of summer, and I was really starting to get like bummed out, because I was like I've been doing this thing. I said I literally adjusted my goal from 10,000 by March to like, okay, can we get to 5,000 by the end of the year? That's what I adjusted my goal to, because like it was like midway through the year now. It's like summer. We're on like month 8. So the start of August, I saw this Gary Vee video, and he's like August is when everyone's like slowing down. Like you're starting to see people like all the out of office things, like they're on the up. And he's saying like, if you want this as bad as you say you want this, you need to be double, tripling down on your shit. And I really took that to heart, because like in my head, I'm like, all right, doubling, tripling down. Okay, if everybody's slowing down, this is when I need to like increase my production, so because like I have that much more chance. Because everybody's going down and I'm going up, like they have a whole lot more chance to like see my stuff.
Definitely.
So then, with all of that prior research, all the prior stuff that I'd learned, and all that setup, then I started doing 2 times daily, 3 times on the weekend. And let me tell you, that was one of the hardest mental challenges I had to go through. Because especially like when like you first start, like you're going from like a video a day, and then now you're trying to like do like 2 videos a day, 3 videos per on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, the mental challenge of like coming up with ideas. I kid you not, I was going on walks at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. trying to get the blood flow to my brain just so I can like get ideas.
Come up with some ideas and stuff.
So,
They always say I always get random ideas like in the shower.
yeah.
I've heard people talk about they're taking a shower. You're like, oh, wait a minute, something's cooking here.
Exactly.
It's always either the shower or the gym for me. Like I'll be working out, I'll be like daydreaming at the same time about getting ideas or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Those walks, man. You get some ideas too.
The gym's a really big one. That's where I get like, I get a lot. My best ideas for the gym come from being in the gym.
Yeah.
So I can resonate with that too. You know, like especially like in between like your rest set and you're like, okay.
And plus, like since you record in the gym, like you could. I already know you probably have that mental setup of like, oh, the camera could be here and I'll walk in this way.
Exactly. You exactly know. It's like, especially like when you start like seeing the idea, like for example, like some ideas, like they can be like meme-ish and you're like, oh, that'd be funny as hell. And then like you can kind of like do it like in person. Because some shots, some type of videos, you need to like go out and like actually film the thing. Some shots, it could be like, the stuff that you have could be like B-roll overlay for like the idea behind it. You know what I'm saying? So when you get like those ideas like in the moment, you're like, oh, I can do this really quickly and I can like frame it in this way to make it look like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of people too, they really do overlook how consistent you have to be with making the posts, keeping up with it. I at no point have I ever had a shit ton of followers. I think the most I ever had, like we talked about, it was just a personal Instagram, just posting, things with friends of my life. And throughout high school and then a little bit after, I probably had at the most like 800 followers on Instagram. Wasn't too active. And then I started posting gym content. And I was posting more and more and more. And after a couple of years, I think the most followers I got up to was like 2,200. But then I kind of fell off and wasn't keeping up with it. Yeah. And so I started noticing I was losing followers. And right now I'm only at like 1,700. But it's funny because I took like a big break from posting gym content. And it was like when I was consistent with it, I was noticing the followers were coming in. There was more likes, there was more comments. And then I fell off of it and lost a shit ton of followers and that engagement.
Yeah, that goes back to like the branding piece of it, because in recently, like probably like within the last 2 months, like the focus has gone from just getting eyeballs into the branding piece, because to make it sustainable, the personal brand that you build for yourself is everything. For example, a lot of people, like if you just base your content on just like your physique, if you lose your physique, your followers are going to be like, well, he no longer looks like super shred or super sick. You know what I'm saying? So then like you're obviously going to lose the stuff from there. So my personal strategy, especially when I started focusing on the branding side of it, I was saying to myself, I was like, okay, we'll use the physique to bring people in, but I also want to share actual genuine helpful advice and just thoughts. I want them to actually engage with me as a person. So when I share certain ideas, some of it might be comical, some of it might be introspective. And the idea is the idea about the branding is when somebody goes to your account, they essentially one video doesn't make somebody follow you. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're gonna get one video that really went off, and from that video it piques their interest. They then go to your account and now they start binging your content. They start looking through all their videos. They might look through 5 or something many videos and just keep on scrolling down. And then they start building up a mental story about you. They start saying to themselves, okay, this is what this guy does. This is what he's about. And now then they're gonna come to this decision where they say, okay, do I find him educational, relatable, funny, or somewhat interesting that I would want to follow his journey? You know what I'm saying? So that's like the type of like that's the funnel of how somebody turns into a follower. Like they don't just like see one video and it's like, damn, that's a really cool video. I'm gonna like follow
Right.
them here. Now a lot of the times like people are going to your page, they're gonna binge your stuff, they're gonna look through all your stuff, make that story, and then they're gonna say, okay, I would actually like to see more of this person. So when I think of branding as curating that story that they form, you know? So the way I put all my posts in, like I'll have like some gym stuff here, but then I might have something where I'm talking to the camera here where I get to like show my personality a little bit more. Because the biggest thing is if you only post like, let's say maybe like only physique updates, that's cool. But now you have to realize when you post something of you talking over the camera, that's going to shock them because they've never seen that before. So it might not do as well. But if when they first come to your account, they're looking through your stuff and they're like, okay, he does like some talking stuff here. Okay, I can see some of his personality here. Oh, that was kind of funny. Or oh, this was actually really educational. When they start like, if they see like all those little elements, now it's like a seed in their mind. They're like, okay, I expect him to do that. You know what I'm saying? So going forward in the future, they're like, oh yeah, no, we've known him to do this. So you know what I'm saying? So like they're following you for like the right reason because like the audience you build, that's also important too. You know, like you want your audience to not only, or at least my personal philosophy is that I don't just want them just to like me for the physique. I would also like them to like me for like the thoughts that I'm sharing or just like a general personality because then that gives me the room to grow into different areas. You know, like let's say I form like other interests. Now it's not so much oh, he doesn't do this anymore. It's more so, oh no, it's his personality, but now he's taking on this realm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just kind of having your hand in a lot of different things.
Exactly.
Right.
So like you want like in general right now, like yes, I am in like the gym and fitness niche, and but if you notice like the way I post my content, a lot of it's kind of like inspirational stuff. You could really do whatever you want. Like one of my life mission is telling people, hey, if you want to do something, I promise you, you can do it. It might not be easy, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So going from that principle, I kind of use that to like thread everything together. You know, some things might be funny and it might be meme, but like you can always see like a thread of like, oh, this is his personality and he's actually doing something that like he genuinely wants to do. So that's kind of like how I kind of like pull everything together.
Yeah.
Like the branding side of it.
It flows really well too. You can't help but see a lot of influencers that are fitness focused. That inspirational side always ties in hand.
Yeah.
You have to be. I mean, in order, it's the backbone of having that fitness regime and being a fitness influencer. You have to have that discipline.
Yeah.
And it goes hand in hand and fits really well. And that's why you see a lot of these fitness influencers, they have that inspirational side where they're preaching to people, hey, you can do it.
For sure, man, for sure. And like it's just like it just makes like the world better because like the one thing I found is like, and this is just like this was like before like I blew up or before I wouldn't even consider myself blew up to be honest. This is like before getting more eyeballs on me. It's like I would go out in the world because like I'm really big on adventures too, and like there just be so many people where it's like they just never really had somebody in their life that said, yo, I believe in you. Like, you could do it, you know? Like, and sometimes, like, that's really all people need. Like, I've seen it. Like, I've seen, like, they get, like, really emotional, and then they actually do believe that they could actually make, like, their dreams a reality, and then they actually start taking action towards it. Then they start getting, like, the self-belief of it. You know, like, one thing goes right here, they get a small win here, you know, get a little momentum, and then you see them start building up. And seeing that from, like, an outside perspective, like from an outside perspective of seeing somebody who's like, I have no idea. Like, I don't even know like what I would do. And then seeing them go towards like something, this is like besides like fitness. Like, yeah, it could be in that realm too. But seeing that from like an outside perspective, and then you might get like a random message from like a close friend that you didn't even know that you were impacting. They would be like, yo, this is like my physique update, or yo, like I actually got like a in this class. I know you'd be super proud of it. And out of the blue, people will send that to you, and you're like, I am so proud of you because like you have no idea who's like seeing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
It's the best feeling ever.
Yeah. So that's what makes it all worth it too. You know, just like
So. I think I saw you did. It was you that posted that, right? Like somebody did send you a message recently. Yeah. That's gotta be like amazing. Like you helped someone, you inspired somebody, and that's the whole thing about the gym too. Like that's why, I think more people, like a lot of people are like scared to try it, like we've talked about on here before, but it's all positive. Like mostly everybody in the gym is positive, and they will help you and inspire you to do better in the gym.
For sure.
But what was like the one, like I know you said you analyzed all these other videos. Was there like one video where you really realized like, oh, people are resonating with this and I'm going to keep
I wouldn't really say it's like, I don't know if I would say it's like one video because like this was over like the course of like 2 months,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was over the course of like 2 months. Like I was kind of just getting like a general idea of like, how did these people frame their ideas? How did they edit their videos? How did they it was really just like seeing like their general like framework and their process. I was like seeing like how they edited it, how like they framed the ideas, like how like they made it like super accessible. Because like a lot of us, like we have ideas. Ideas are a dime a dozen. Like ideas are a dime a dozen. Like the thing is like, can you make somebody understand it the way you understand it in your brain and transport that to their brain? Like how do you word it? Because like the way you word things could change the impact of the video,
Exactly.
So it was really more so just like learning like those. Yeah.
Was there anybody specific that you kind of looked at that you really liked their style?
Videos. There were a couple, and the funny thing is, like I looked at bigger creators, but not all of them are actually like in the gym niche. Because like people that you follow, like you can gain value from them just by liking their editing style and wanting to know their editing style. Like it doesn't even have to be based on like the content they share. But like if I was giving like some away that like I really learned from, there's this girl her name was Grow with Tess, at Grow with Tess, and she has like a darker aesthetic. She was like one of like the first creators where I was like one personally, I just really liked her style, and I was like looking at it, I was like, these just look so cool. I just really liked her editing style. So I just started like literally just like binging her content and just like analyzing it, seeing like how she got like her aesthetic, how she cut, when she decided to cut. And I would just like analyze that. So she was like a big one. Like she was probably like the main one, to be honest. I just really liked her editing style. I would say like I probably learned most of my editing from her. And then after a while, like, after like I was able to like take off my training wheels, then I started like developing my own style and like kind of like getting my own my own vein, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she was definitely like a really like impactful one. Like I remember it was like last week, or it was like either a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I saw her like one of my videos, and I think she commented on one of them, and I was like, "This is insane," because this is full circle.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's actually kind of sick.
Yeah.
Because like before that, like I'd had like some like huge people like I had SZA. Like SZA, like she liked one of my videos. And
really?
And I was like,
me and Devin are
like
fans
SZA is cool. But when I saw like Grow with Tess, like when I saw she like commented on it, that's when I was like, this just feels a little bit more special because like I learned from you.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, is like social media and like kind of doing the fitness influence, is this something you always wanted to do, or did you have like plans prior and it's just kind of happened?
Honestly, like I don't know if I would say it's something like always like wanted to do. Like I, in my friend group, I was always a person who was like, I would give people, like I was kind of like the one who told people or like made sure that nobody was like messing their life up, or if they were, I was like, yo, we're not kids anymore, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I would always like, my friends, like they always like look to me as that person, and I was just generally like always like I would give them inspiring speeches, but like it would be like me and him like talking about like something completely random. I'd be like, yo, like you have this thing, like you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I was always like that type of person. Now when it comes to like social media, I kind of like started posting a little bit more on social media because you know, I was doing like my gym thing, but then also like I kind of looked at it from the frame of like when I'm like a grandparent and I have like all my grandchildren and they're like grandpa, what were you like when like you were younger, you know? So that's kind of like what made me start like posting it. So it is a digital journal right now because the idea is that like let's say I'm dead and gone, I want like my great grandparents or like my great grandchildren, my great greats, they could be like, this is what great grandpa Jordaine was like, you know?
I always think about that.
So do I. We were just having a conversation about this not too long ago. It's like I look at, you know, it's like when my time comes, I want to be satisfied with everything that I did. You know, when I want my grandchildren or whoever to be like, okay, hey, what was he known for? What did he do? You know, just to give you that satisfaction at the end. And I like how you said digital journal as well. Like that's what this podcast is essentially, a digital journal of speaking to numerous different people of, hey, what's your journey? Let's share your journey with other people and they can learn from it and essentially help them grow. And so I like how you really said that, kind of looking at social media as like that digital journal.
Yeah, and like and just like what you said about your grandkids seeing it, and even like your kids one day, like think about how crazy that is. Like we don't have the privilege of seeing all these videos of our parents when they're younger or something, and that's crazy. Like how the future is gonna look. You're gonna be able to see your great grand
doing a podcast.
doing a podcast.
Like one day we're all gonna be here 50 years from now.
Yeah, wait, just say hi to them real quick. What's up?
I know. I say hi.
Hey guys.
I think about that all the time though, and I don't know. It's interesting. It is, and hopefully, I mean, we're just assuming that YouTube will be around forever. I'm hoping, but you know, or Instagram or something. But yeah, it is a digital journal. That's true.
I think 100% in the future. I think they're definitely gonna have, especially like if you're somebody who puts out like so much content, like they're definitely gonna have, like, there's gonna be a service where essentially you keep all your dead relatives like posts and all that to get like an idea of who they are. I promise you that's gonna be a thing. Or probably already is. Who knows? Somebody's probably working on it. But
I like this whole conversation too because to think about stuff like that, you have to be an individual that's you know invested in deep thinking and looks into that. Not a lot of people do.
No.
A lot of people will look at everything in life and social media. It's social media. It's nothing. But we're looking at that deeper scale of in the future, we want our grandchildren and family members to remember us for who we were and what we preached. Sure, man. And that takes that deep thinking. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that don't think to that scale of how meaningful what we're doing is.
Exactly. And like it's also, you could inspire your own grandkids or something to get in the gym and work out and think
exactly what you just said. Like I can't, like when I was forming my like this statement of my life mission, like it was very much in the frame that I want when my grandchildren to look back on life, or when they're they're looking towards what makes life so exciting, or like what is this thing all about. Like I want them to feel inspired. I want them to really feel like they can really take this thing by the throat and really create anything they want from it. You know, like the life mission statement that I formed was, I want to inspire others to believe in their divine ability to make their dreams a reality by living my own dreams of a life of freedom and adventure. So that pushes me to make decisions and to really go out and do stuff where it's like when they're looking back on it, they can look back and be like, there's no way he did that. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be that they're looking and they're like, oh, okay, I guess that's cool. It should, like, I want them to look back and be like, there's no way he actually did that.
Exactly.
Or there's no way that actually worked out. Like, they should get like excited about the life to come and like what they can do. You know, like that's the effect and the feeling I want them to have. I want them to be excited and like energized about it.
Yeah,
I feel the same way, man. The same exact way, and that's how I lived my life, is with that thought. You know, I used to be in the military. I was the first one in my family to do so. My career right now, I'm the first one in my family to do so. You know, being this invested in the fitness, Ethan and I, obviously we're family, you know, both of us, but we're the first ones to be that invested into fitness, you know, within our family. Respect. And I look at it the same way as like in the future, I want my grandchildren to be like, Grandpa went through all that. You know, if he or her are having a bad day, be like, Grandpa really was able to get through that.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to use that, you know, kind of fight through this.
Yeah. And you can literally point to him and be like, you don't believe me? Look at it. Like it's
here it is. Look at this video. Watch this podcast.
Yeah.
And something even about like how you have workout programs, like you have the free one that me and Devin downloaded, and you know, you make your own, even thinking that, you know, somebody down the line in your family could be looking at your workout program.
Isn't that insane?
Your workout and stuff. It's crazy. When did you start like writing out programs? And
honestly, that just came from like a ton of people. They'd reach out to me and they'd be like, "Hey man, what do you do for this? Hey man, what do you do for chest day? What do you do for this?" And like I had stuff, and like I'd like have stuff like scribbled in my notes, and, like, you know, like a general outline, but I'd share it with people. But I really wanted to be like really detailed, because like a lot of times the people that were reaching out to me, you know, they were either like beginners, and they just really wanted to like see some type of progress. They want something where they could be like, okay, I do this, I do it for this many sets, I do it this intensely, this is how I know I get to, like, so when I made like the free one, like I literally just like wrote out everything. Like I tried making it super detailed, rest time in between the workout, things that I focus on, why I do certain things, like let's say for example like upper chest, why I do mainly incline bench pressing movements. I just like wrote that like all out, so that way when they have it, because I know a lot of people, you know, like they don't want to like put the investment into like a paid program, because like let's say they don't really know what this person could even like offer anyway. And like a lot of these people, like, you know, they might be like, they just starting out, maybe like they're in like their teens, like, so I still want to like give them something. So I literally just like wrote out like everything I wish I knew. Like if I was like just started out and I wanted to get to this point faster, just based on like the workout, this is exactly what I would tell you to do. So I literally just like wrote that out, and I was like, then I packaged it up into like a PDF, and I was like, okay, now I have this thing where people, when they come to it, they can just like download it. A ton of people downloaded it, which is still insane to me. And then like the video version, like some people, like they still want like a little bit more, like for example like on like the form piece of it. So I'd literally like I'd be sending videos of me showing them the exercise in my DM, like talking them through it, and then I was like, okay, maybe I can do like a more in-depth version where it could be like this is like the closest thing I could create to like you coming to the gym with me. So then I created like the video guide of me breaking down every single exercise, the form, mental notes I'm taking before I do each thing, like certain cues that I'm doing to hit certain muscles better. And they're just like packaged that all up and made it into like a video guide. And that one took significantly more time, you know, to edit and to edit it, to film it, to actually set it up and make it look nice and have all that. So that one I felt was like fair to make it a little bit paid, because, you know, for the same time, like if they do like the free guide, like they have the information there, but this was a lot more in depth.
Yeah.
So
would that ever be an interest of yours to do like coaching like that, like online or?
Yeah, you know, I would, because like even like right now, like I go to the gym with my cousin. He's like he has diabetes, and he's around like 250 right now. And like I don't post about this or anything. Like it's literally just like me and him. We go and I show him the workouts. I show him everything. I show him like the cues. I push him, and like, you know, he really enjoys it. And like you know, he says like he really enjoys like the way I push him and like give him that like extra edge. And like the thing is, like people feel good when they go hard. Like in the moment it feels really hard, but like after, I've never met someone who's like, damn, I wish I didn't go that. You know what I'm saying? Like he feels really good, and just doing that with him and seeing the confidence he's gaining, like just over time, and like when I know, because I went through it too, when he like is like let's say 6 months to a year down the line, and he looks back on like his progress photos, I like the self-respect and how proud he's gonna be of himself, like that by itself, like it's already like a, you know, like like, sure, like I might have like been the candle that kind of like lit yours a little bit, but you did that on your own, you know?
Yeah. I can't stress enough how important progress photos are, whether you post them or not, just for your own personal like gain. Because like even me looking back, like, you know, me and Devin both started out really skinny. We were really skinny kids. And even just looking back and seeing that progress will, you know, it motivates you to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of people that are like, I don't take any pictures. I'm like, no, you should do it just for yourself. Because like I have a whole folder on my phone of like all like since I started, just to see that progress. And it's important to do that just to see the change.
I say it all the time, man. Like my biggest regret is that I didn't take enough progress photos. Because the thing is, like, people, like, they might see your physique and they may be like, oh, he started at this point. Like, a lot of people don't know. I was like chubby first. Like, I don't have many back when I was like chubby. Like my progression, like I went from like chubby, and then I got like skinnier because I was playing like a lot of soccer, and then from skinny I went to then that's when I started like getting like a bit more jacked. But a lot of people think it's skinny to jack, but no, I was like chubby first, then got skinny. So like a lot of people don't see that. But like in terms of, like coming back to like the coaching question, yeah, it's definitely something that I would do, because like I like seeing people like gain that confidence in themselves. And if I could be like just like a small piece of it that kind of like, you know, just gives you some guidance, you know, because like some people, they do need a little bit more of like a hands-on thing where somebody is, you know, checking with them. Because like, for example, like my brother, he's kind of like that. Like, you know, he kind of needs that like like somebody else, you know? And that's guidance. Fine. That's fine. So yeah, it is something I'd like look into, but like as of right now, I'm not really coaching anyone. But it is something that I would consider doing.
It is super satisfying as well, seeing that progression in other people. Like you said, just having that little like, you know, like little candle, little spark, initiating that spark in somebody else. It's like you did the work on your own, you know, but it's like just even within yourself, being able to watch them go through that is super satisfying. And that was the biggest thing we've talked about before with me bringing and opening up my little garage gym I have. It was like, man, it's like, not only do I have the space, but I get to see the people come in and see that progression. And it's like, man, they're in my gym and I'm seeing this physical change and this change in strength. And it's just the most rewarding feeling ever. And it's so satisfying to see somebody start from point A, and then you take them through a program, see them start to develop and make those changes. And there's nothing like it. There's nothing else like that.
100%, man. 100%. Like the best things in the life, like it's not stuff that like you can take. It's a lot of times it's stuff that you can give, you know? Like 100%. And that's something that I've like had to come to learn. Like even like when people give you like a random message saying that, hey man, your stuff that you put out online inspires me and like it made me do this, like that right there, that feeling, like it's almost second to none. Like,
it's priceless. We used to have big gym sessions where we would have like 7+ people in there working out. And I can't even tell you the amount of times I would take a step back and I would just look around and I would just see everybody in there working on themselves. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
For sure, man.
That's also like, you know, what inspires us to try to, you know, keep like progressing that, like get a gym one day or something. And just that feeling is amazing. I mean, you know, you got me into it. So just me learning from you and seeing that is, you know, it is inspiring.
And I think at the end of the day, what it boils down to is we love to see people become better versions of themselves.
100%.
We love to see it. You know, it's like no matter what you're going through, you know, I want to see you working on yourself, and just to see that progression and that outcome and just literally see you change physically and mentally is priceless. And it's one of the best feelings ever to see that change in somebody. Even if you had to initiate that little spark, just knowing they were comfortable with you. Comfortable with you, you know, believing in them essentially. And that's what a lot of people need, is they need that reassurance and just that little bit of support. Because the amount of people that go through life without getting a compliment, without getting the reassurance that they need to start something and stick with it. And, you know, when you provide somebody with that and you see him stick along with like, okay, I know Devin believes in me and he wants me here for this workout tomorrow, so I'm going to show up. And just seeing that change, it's amazing.
Yeah, 100%, man. And that spans to like so many different areas of life too, you know? Like personally, like fitness, it's an important period. It's an important like part of my life, but that was kind of like the first, like that was like the first place I was able to have a vision in my head and like see that vision actualize into reality. Like I remember back when I was like, what was it, like maybe like 13, 14, 15. I was like still in that like chubbier phase. Like I envisioned that, okay, when I'm 20 years old, I'm literally gonna look like Goku. And like I literally kept that vision in my head, and lo and behold, I look exactly like Goku. So seeing that vision like come to life, it really, like, yes, it's cool in fitness, but like the more powerful thing about it is now you start thinking, where else in my life could I do this? Like I could literally have a thought about what I want. I could have a vision and I could actually make that thing happen. And when you can like get that switch in your head where it's like you can really make this life what you want of it, like when you really have that like genuine belief in yourself and like you see it happen in one realm, now you're like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's when you're like, now you're dangerous, because now you're like, I could legit do anything.
Like what's next?
Yeah, exactly.
You think it's like the law of attraction thing. You continue to think about something. It's on your mind all day, every day. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. When you go to bed, you're thinking about it. You wake up, you're thinking about it. And before you know, it happens. And it's like, it might be a couple of years from now. It could be longer. And I can say the same with my life, man. It's things that just, I would think about things. And literally, up until this point, I feel like I've planned my life out. And I would think about what I wanted to do next. What was next? What was next? And everything has happened. And it's like, it's crazy to see that. Yeah. And that's why I do believe the power of just what it is that you want. You keep it in your mind. You think about it. You know it's possible. And then you work towards it every day.
Sure.
Every day.
Thoughts do become things. Thoughts do, in fact, become things.
Thoughts into reality.
Yeah. So you said you started after you played soccer? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So I played
So
soccer.
How long ago was that? Like, when did you really start getting consistent?
Like, I'm a very competitive person when I get into, like, sport, you know? So, or many different areas of life, though. So, for me, like, it just didn't feel, like, it was meant for me right there anymore. So then, like, you know, I started, like, going to the gym. I started out just going, like, literally 2 days a week. Like one day was upper day, one day was lower day, and then the other day, then the other day was just like I'll probably just like be practicing soccer on my own, or like maybe like do like some like pickup games. But that was literally it. That's how it started. Everybody's like, a lot of people, they're asking like, how long did it take you to do this? How long did it take you to do that? I'm like, if you saw the first year that I was lifting, like you wouldn't like you know, like you do not need to know everything. You just need to get started. Like, I was legit doing an upper day and a lower day. That was it.
It was the same with us. Like I used to just go online. I started out working out at a Planet Fitness. I was like 13 years old. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just go on Google. It was like bodybuilding.com and muscle and fitness workouts. I said this on a previous podcast. It'd be like, get jacked like Superman. And I'd be like, hey, this is a good workout. Let's go hit it. Showing up at Planet Fitness with my phone, like going through the workouts.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And what I always tell people, like, hey, man, look, like, it doesn't matter where you start. I promise you, if you just like stick with it and you just like stay interested, I promise it. Like, if your interest is there, you're gonna like look stuff up on your own and you're gonna like learn it over time. Obviously, you could always get like a coach, like you know, streamline your process and like kind of like cut short that learning curve. But like at the end of the day, the time's gonna pass anyway. The time is gonna pass anyway. So like a lot of like kids will be like 16 years old and they'll be like, am I too late? I'm like, what do you mean by too late? Like I legit started like lifting like, what was it, when I was like 19? Like, what do you mean too late?
Yeah, it's never too late.
No.
Yeah, see videos of like 80-year-old guys deadlifting and stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever seen those. I'm like, it's never too late. This is a lifelong game.
Yeah, man. I'm like, what do you mean too late? You're 16 years old. This is probably like the most perfect time for you to start.
Yeah, right.
And when I started, you know, I was just doing that normal like 3-day split, you know, like you said, like upper, lower, and then I think I would do I don't know, there's like a full body or just arms or something. I don't know. What does your workout split look like right now? Like,
Yeah,
how
okay.
does that
Yeah,
compare?
so my workout split right now, it's 4 days. So Monday I do back and biceps. My back day, like I used to do calisthenics during that first year when COVID happened, like 2020. So I still have like I was doing like a ton of pull-ups at that point, and that was like an integral part. So I still have pull-ups as like a main part of my workout, especially it's like the first workout I do. I do it for 3 to 5 sets, depending on like the day and how much time. So back and biceps is Monday, Tuesday rest, Wednesday we come back and we hit quad focus legs. I do two. I don't know. I do four quad heavy movements. Then Thursday I try switching off. Like I never want to like overtrain my muscle, so I try giving them a lot of rest. And so Thursday is chest, shoulder, tries. That one usually goes on like a little bit longer than like the others because it's chest, shoulder, tries.
Yeah.
And then Saturday I'll come back and I'll do hamstring focused legs. That one again, that one's usually a little bit shorter. I'll do like 2 hamstring heavy movements. So I choose RDLs and then I choose leg curls and then I do two calf movements, and that's it. So the thing that I try to prioritize is like last year I was doing like a 6 day program, and it was essentially I was doing 6 days, and what I noticed was like I would get into the gym and I'd be exhausted before the workout even started. And then I remember seeing this like Mike Mentor video where he was talking about like the importance of rest, and like he was talking about like he would do like super short but super intense workouts, and it really got me thinking because up to that point I was doing like 5 days, 6 days, with like one rest day because I was a soccer player, like my whole frame of reference was you spend more time training, you'll grow, like you'll get better. So that's how I thought it would work too. And there is like some truth to that, but like I started like really taking into importance, like the importance of rest, the importance of like proper nutrition, all that type of stuff. And that's when I really started like seeing growth because last year I tried doing a cut and I did the cut. It was bad. Like essentially I just like lost muscle.
Really?
I essentially just like lost muscle. So for this next year, I said like I wanted to do like a proper bulk. I did like proper research, and then made sure I was like my nutrition was right. Giving myself like ample rest so I could like recover back. And then like I had a goal. I had a goal that like because like last year like I was at 185, and I said this year I want to be like lean at 200 pounds. And so throughout the summer, like I got down to that. Like I was like I think the peak bulk was like probably like 208, but like throughout the summer I was like laying around like it was like 195, 197. So I was like, okay, it's not 200, but like we made some like really good progress. So that's the split right now. So Monday it's back and buys. Wednesday Wednesday quad focus legs. Thursday, chest, shoulder, tries, and then Saturday, hamstring focus legs.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's are you kind of like on a strict diet right now?
Honestly, no. Like, I'm not in like a strict diet. Like, the way I've kind of like, like I tracked my when I first started, I did track my calories. I got like an idea of like what my maintenance was and all that, and like my macros and all that. I got a good idea of that. But then I was doing it for a while. And I don't train for like a show. Like I kind of just like train just for like a lifestyle and like I like the way I look, So my diet, it kind of like I looked at it recently and I think I was like consuming maybe like on like a good day maybe like 2,800 or something like that. But and I was looking, I was like that's kind of low. Like, and I was looking at it, I was like, is that really what I'm doing? But like it doesn't even feel like that because like it's kind of like I've done it over a period of time for so long where it's like okay I'm getting protein in but the calories are still like 28 and I'm like okay like this is like my body's base now. Like it doesn't feel like I'm like starving myself. It doesn't feel like I'm like it doesn't feel like it's like requiring any external effort, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
like it's just something that's kind of like become part of like this is how we eat now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so that's yeah, that's how that is right now. So it doesn't I wouldn't even really consider it like a diet because if I go out and I see something where it's like I don't eat I avoid sodas, juices. It's mainly water and any like fried food, like anything that like you'd consider generally junk food. And I've just been doing that like over a period of years where it's like I don't even get the cravings for them anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what I try I try telling people. It's like if you can get to the point where it's like you don't feel like dieting and it's really more just so like you tapered yourself off over a period of time. Now it's like if I go out and I see something and I've never tried it before and I'm like, okay, I actually do want to try this just because like something I've never tried before and I want to see how it tastes. Yeah, I'll let myself taste it. I'll let myself eat it. Like I'm not like restricting myself in that sense.
Yeah.
Because like I know like over time, like it's gonna go bad.
Yeah. It takes a mental toll as well when you're super strict like that all the time. Especially if you really don't have a reason to do so. Like you said, you're training for lifestyle, not really a show.
Yeah.
It's like there's really no reason to be that hard on yourself and that strict. It's like it does take a mental toll, and sometimes just seeing people how they're in that low state of being so strict all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not
Exactly. And like that's something for me where it's like even like some people like they've asked me if I'll do a show, and I was like, to be honest, like I like the relationship I have with like lifting and like fitness right now, where it's like I don't want it to feel like competition, like it's something for me. And to people who do that, respect, more power to you, and trust me, major respect for my friends that do that.
Yeah.
But for me personally, like this is really just like something where it's like it was the first area of my life I was able to see a vision turn to reality, and I want to keep that. I want to keep that like relationship with it where it's like, no, this is like for me. You know?
You're comfortable with it.
Exactly.
This whole topic kind of reminds me. I'm sure you're familiar with Alex Eubank.
Yeah.
I had just watched a video of his about his announcement of getting on TRT.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how his brand, his individual brand and content is so focused around him being lean. But he was saying being that lean, he just feels like shit all the time. And it's very hard. He doesn't have the motivation to keep up with content, videos, everything like that. So he decided to hop on TRT, which, that's just going back to what we were talking about being so restrictive on the calories and then being on that strict diet all the time and how it makes you feel mentally and physically.
And that also goes back to like the branding side of it too. Like if your entire brand is focused on just you being super aesthetic, which is cool, but at the same time, when that goes away, now your fan base is like, well, he doesn't look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I just thought that was kind of crazy to see that, I've been seeing his stuff for a few years now and seeing him be like, all right, I'm going to hop on some TRT because I just can't sustain this look. I just don't feel good trying to sustain this.
Not many naturals left, it looks like.
I know.
There's a lot of people out there that I just feel like they don't say. And,
definitely.
I don't even think it's something you should hide. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't work out that feel like it's just cheating. Like you just can get that. You still have to work your ass off.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you can just sit on the couch and take them.
Pop up for you.
Yeah.
Like all these like influencers who are like, they're hopping on stuff like the impact it has on like the younger generation is kind of crazy. Like, what was it? Like, I think it was like maybe like 2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago, I was in the gym. I kid you not. This like high school kid. I overheard him like talking to him in front of me. He was like, do I look like I got bigger? I think the Dynaball is working. I was like,
no way.
I was like, I kid you not. Like, had to be like 16, 17. I'm like, what?
Like, excuse me?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I thought like when I overheard it, like as he was like saying, because like I said, like he's saying like, oh, do I look like I got bigger? I think like, okay, he's been like trying out some new workout. He's like, I think the Dynaballs were. I was like, this is insane.
Where's that kid even getting it from?
I don't
Like,
know.
come
That's what
on,
I'm
man.
saying. But like that's not even like the first time, because like there's this other time at this other gym where this kid, like, he'd been lifting for like 8 months, and he's like, bro, I've been lifting for 8 months, and I've barely seen any progress. Mind you, I'm looking at this kid, I'm like, if I had your progress in 8 months, I would have been ecstatic. And he's like, I don't think that like this thing's working. I think I need to hop on gear or something. I was like,
Oh my
my
gosh.
8 months, 8 months, like you barely gave it a shot, and like I kid you not, this kid had good results. But the thing is, like, I think that they're seeing all these influencers, and it's like influencers have like really good lighting, and like they look huge, and they're like, I need to look like that, or else my genetics are cooked. I'm like, you barely gave your genetics a shot. Like,
Right. So you don't even know
Yeah.
how well your genetics are. It ties in with social media and everything. People's low attention spans, people being impatient nowadays. We want everything right now.
for sure.
Nobody wants to do it for the long haul.
Yeah, it's kind of sad though, because like, especially like when like you're young, you're not thinking about like long term stuff. Like you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just here now. This is like you're not thinking about like a long term effects. I'm like, oh my god, it's a problem, man.
Jordaine, so we're gonna wrap it up here. If there's anything that you'd like to say, just put out there, whatever you want before we end it.
Yeah, if there's like one thing I could like leave everybody with, I'd like you really can make your dreams a reality. Like you have a divine ability to make your dreams a reality, and it may not be easy, but I promise you, with enough work, dedication, and just like sticking with it day in and day out, eventually, like you will see it come to pass. You might even develop into something that like you never knew you could become. So just like stick with it. Yeah. And besides that, for anybody looking for Instagram growth, like I said, I am coming out with a guide that's scheduled to come in about like maybe like 2 weeks. So that's also coming out.
Awesome,
Sounds
man.
good, man.
Well, thank you so much, and it was a pleasure having you on. And I'll be looking forward to your content coming out soon.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys
Definitely,
having me.
All right. Super cool and informative episode speaking with Jordaine today. Kind of diving into social media aspect and how that ties in with fitness and growing a fitness account and, inspiring other people to get involved in fitness. And it was really interesting to see that social media aspect of things.
Yeah.
So traditional ending.
Yeah. Traditional ending, which I did it by myself last time.
You did it by yourself?
Is this one working anymore?
I don't
that
think
one almost
works
didn't work
anymore.
last time. I had to do it 3 times.
Yeah, I got to get some more.
Yeah. Get some new ones.
Okay, it's kind of weak. I'm not going to lie, it's kind of weak. Okay, you got to get like super close.
I'm going to do it again.
No, use this one.
This one's not as
This is going to be a more exciting part of the videos when we get brand new ones.
Yeah,
because when they're brand new, they
should get
smack.
the Gorilla. What's it called?
I don't even remember where I got that.
I don't know.
But I can order some more, and trust me, this part of the video will be much more exciting. I got to take these back in the gym, damn it.
Well, not these ones. These ones suck.
They've been sitting here so that we can do this little part of the video.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to use them while training.
Well, we're going to get some brand new ones.
Jesus.
We're going to get some brand new ones on this table.
These need to be used when you're doing some heavy lift.
Yeah.
I need to be using this for Squattober, and I haven't. The only time I use it is when we wrap up a podcast.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get some new ones, but thank you guys for watching. Jordaine, it was awesome having you on the show. And
peace out. It's time to go eat.
It's time to go. He needs to eat. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.